I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
National sickness. We live in a country where people care more about guns than they care about 6-year-old children. They care more about guns than they care about synagogue worshipers. And they care more about guns than they do about college students. What that means is that it does not matter how hard President Hemphill works, how hard the chiefs work, somebody will be a victim eventually. It is a matter of time. And until there is the political will to break the spell of the cult of gun absolutism, you will see more incidents like this. So if you're looking for somebody to blame, don't look at anybody up here. Look at our lawmakers who don't have the courage to implement sensible gun control measures. Look to a Supreme Court that enables them, and do something about it. So that is the lesson. Let's mourn the people who have died. Let's decry what has happened, but let's keep the focus where it belongs. It belongs on us and having to change something so that we don't have to suffer through this.
What we're seeing right now is absolutely chaotic. We're seeing the United States Senate prevent the president, prevent conservatives, prevent Republicans, prevent Americans from having safety here in the United States by not passing the SAVED Act. After what we've seen at our southern border, after what we've seen transpire just over the last 2 days with what I would call sleeper cells active here in the United States, there's never been a more clear time for real action. You're seeing what's happening in Iran. Iran is the #1 state sponsor of horrible things. Iran has been attributed to trying to actually destroy the president of the United States. The fighting there is continuing. And sadly, it's probably going to continue for a while. The same group of people that are holding up the SAVE Act are very pro-women's rights, pro-feminist, pro-password people. All of the things that Iran is against, these people are for, but somewhere lost in the translation, they do not want those same freedoms for the people of Iran. And I just want to ask you why. Why do you think that is? And I'll give you my answer. I believe it's because the guy right here, Donald Trump, is the one that wants it. And I believe that there are people in this country that would rather see America fail. They would rather see America lose a war. They would rather see American men and women that are serving in uniform actually die to prevent Donald Trump from being successful. And they'll celebrate it. The same people that are fighting against this movement in Iran are the same people that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk and made videos singing and dancing. We see this yesterday, yesterday in Michigan and also in Virginia at Old Dominion, that there are radicalized people, some former military, that are actually targeting the United States military, ROTC candidates. They're going after soft targets. They're going after universities. And that's exactly where we're at right now. There's a image here of this Old Dominion ROTC instructor. He was killed by a convicted bad guy as chair of the military science department. And I don't understand why, when, where, what happened to the American people when this Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw in uniform was doing exactly what was right. He did it on the battlefield, and then he was doing it at a university teaching new warfighters what was right, how to defend America. And you are going to see the news media come out and spin this into Trump bad. Trump did this. Trump did that. But they won't address the core issue, which is getting these people out of our country. At what point do we stop siding with the evil people that come here? This is Mohammed, go figure that name, Baylor Jala, the ODU shooter. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, and he wasn't there. He was let out under the Biden regime. He is a naturalized citizen from Sierra Leone. very peaceful country this time of year, right? Wheel of Fortune always gives out vacations to there. But he is the victim, according to the Democrat Party. We also have information coming out now out of Iran. 4 members were killed as a U.S. Air Force refueling plane crashes in Iraq. You're going to see the Democrat Party. You're going to see members of the Democrat coalition come out and criticize Donald Trump. Basically, Trump was flying the plane, and that's why it crashed. That's the new narrative. Apparently, the planes collided. They were in a refueling operation for sorties over that area. But it all comes back to Trump bad, Democrats good. That's the talking point. That's their policy. What is the actual policy for the Democrat Party right now? I don't know if they have one other than hatred for the president, other than hatred for the success of America, other than not wanting to see anyone be successful. Siding with criminals. Don't ever side with heroes. I think they got that memo. This is Michigan. There was a temple, a Jewish synagogue that was attacked. They rammed a car into the preschool area. The guy was ID'd as a Lebanese American. He came here. He was granted citizenship. Wait for it. Under Obama. He passed away. I'm not going to say that I'm angry or upset about that. I believe some of this rhetoric that we're seeing in the United States against one group of people, against one religion, has led to this. It's only going to get worse. For some reason, we blame everything in our country against one small group of people. The Democrat Party owns this. This is their method. This is their policy. These are their talking points that they are running with on a daily basis. And go figure, the ISIS supporting Old Dominion University shooter shouted the same old term that we're getting used to. If you hear that, you better get down. You better keep your head on a swivel. More importantly, there are certain members of Congress, ILHAN OMAR, Rashida Tlaib, the rest of the squad that is probably going to side with this. They're going to go with this narrative. When does it end? When does the American people wake up? When do we wake up for not allowing this? We saw what just happened a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago in Austin, Texas. He had the property of you-know-who on his shirt. But yet we're going to blame, white MAGA Christian Zionists. That's who we're going to blame. We're not going to address the actual elephant in the room, which is these people are coming to our country. And they're infiltrating. They're getting into our systems. He was a specialist. I think that's an E5 in the United States Army. He got radicalized. And these people are running around with hoodies on. He's trained. The United States military trained him. And then we're going to wonder why he was effective. There needs to be more backgrounds being checked. And when somebody's radicalized like this, you either send them back to where they come from or you lock them up so they never get out. President Obama, President Biden, this stuff's on your hands. This is on your hands. And I don't know if any of you will come out and address this. I don't think Obama will. I don't think Biden will. I don't think Alejandro Mayorkas will. Merrick Garland. None of these people that were in charge for 4 years under Biden, 8 years under Obama, that actually paid for this. Now there's threats coming out that some of the money that Obama and Biden released back to the Iranian regime is going to be used to pay for drone strikes, possibly, along California, Oregon, Washington State, that western seaboard. We have sleeper cells here in our country. If you don't think that, just turn on your news and try to convince me that these people were not radicalized, were not part of this, and more importantly, that there's not more of them. You know it as well as I do. And could this be a dry run for something bigger? An October 7th style thing? We've got Easter coming up, one of the largest celebrations of Christianity. in the world. Easter's coming up. Do you think that would be a really good time to do something? You better keep your head on a swivel. Practice the Second Amendment so I can continue to use the First Amendment to get this information out to you. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Tune in every morning on this channel, Monday through Friday. We do a live stream. Try to do a morning blitz to get the intel out. Take care.